keep grinding away.
Coach, what needs do you think you need to assess in the draft this year?
Well, honestly, we're always trying to find better players at all the positions. And, every team has certain holes, but, it's not necessarily in the draft. We can take care of those things through free agency. We can take care of them, with trades or any other combination of things.
What are your thoughts on the offensive line class?
I think the tackles are pretty good. I think the guards maybe dropped off a little bit from last year. But, again, we're just starting the process. We're going to try and figure out what's the best fit for us. It's important that the players, whoever we end up drafting, fit our culture and the way that we like to do things. They fit great in the locker room and the way we practice and the way we do things.
Everson Griffin is really important to the defensive line as a whole. How far along is the organization with negotiations?
We met with his agent yesterday, I think it was. So, Everson's a terrific person for us. I think our situation is the right one for him, and we expect him to be back. I think he wants to be back, and so those kind of things usually work its way out.
What's your opinion on possibly 17 games, short of preseason stuff that's being talked about?
Yeah, I don't know that much about it other than what the 17 games are. I'll kind of keep my opinions to myself.
Hey, Coach, every coach and also personnel organization has an objective as to how they want to improve their staff. What's yours this year?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily improve our staff. The first thing we did the day after the season was start to get to work on staff changes. So that was part of it. But, there's certain areas football-wise that we need to continue to get better at. Whether it's defensively or offensively, those are things that we're studying now. We take half the day to do that and half the day to work on the draft or free agency. But I love my coaching staff. Those guys do a great job. I'm impressed with them every day.
The loss of Kevin Stefanski, what do you think will make him a really good head coach?
I think Kevin's very organized. I think he's very detailed. I think all of those things will help. I think he's not afraid to ask for help if he needs it. He's not going to go in there and be like a dictator. He's going to go in and tell his philosophy and how he wants to do it, and then he'll ask opinions of other people.
Did you see him grow after he took over the play calling and the field coordinator?
I don't know. He's always been, pretty good. So I don't know if growing is the right word.
Well, do you think his presence changed as far as addressing a group and that kind of thing, maybe?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, probably even more so this year than did the last 3 games from the year before.
No, analytics been more involved in the process. Rick Spielman kind of talked about it.
Yeah, Rick loves it. Yeah, Rick loves it. Analytics is a tool. He likes to use it because it's a good buzzword for him. For me, tendencies about the other team and things like that, when we look at tendencies, we could say they're analytics, but I have a hard time someone telling me to go for it on 4th and 5 when you're up by 2 scores and they don't know the team that they're playing against. And if you do go for it and you don't get it, they don't get fired, I do. So that's my take on it.
Coach, what did you think about Kirk Cousins' improvement last year?
Yeah. I thought Kirk probably had his best season as a professional. I thought he did a great job of understanding the scheme and what we're trying to do with each game plan. I thought he studied his rear end off as far as trying to get prepared each and every week, and I thought the coaches did a great job with him. So we're looking for him to continue to get better and keep going forward with him.
Coach, keeping up with the theme of free agents, but Trey Waynes, when you drafted him, he's not as good of a cornerback as he is now. What can you say about his growth over the years as he approaches his free agency?
Yeah, Trey's a great kid. Works hard, a very good tackler, he's got great speed. I hope that none of the guys are as good when we draft them as when they leave. I hope they all get better with coaching and intelligence and things like that. So, but But Trey's a great guy. We hope to get him back, and we'll see what happens.
Have you thought of maybe adjusting your offense, maybe rollouts? I can go a bit more exotic, but just curious your thoughts as to.
Well, we do quite a bit of that. You know, honestly, I'm really pleased with where our offense is right now. The run, play action, and getting the ball down the field. I think Kirk throws a great deep ball. I think we got receivers that'll go up and get it. And you know, we'll always add wrinkles, and we always have a lot of quarterback movement plays in there. So, but I'm happy with where we're at.
Coach, with a lot of questions in the secondary, is that a position that you're looking to address in the early rounds?
You know, I don't know when we'll address it. I'm sure we'll have to address it. You know, we've got a lot of decisions to make there in that back end. But you know, that's part of the process that we have to go through. But you know, if there's a great pass rusher there, that doesn't mean we won't take him, or a great offensive guard, something like that. We might take him.
What's the next step for Garrett Bradbury?
You know, I think Garrett had a heck of a year. You know, he played a lot of plays, played a lot of games, made a lot of the right calls. I would say, you know, just continuing his development. You know, early in the year he had some holding penalties that he needed to clean up with some of his hands. So part of that. Part of it would be pass protection.
Going back to the secondary, Harrison Smith has been part of your team for a while. Where do you kind of see him going forward? I know his numbers were down a little bit next year, but obviously he's still productive. Yeah, and, you know, some of those things with a lot of things are a combination of other areas too. But Harrison's a terrific player. He's a great teammate. You know, we're always trying to think of more ways how we can use Harrison for him to, because he is such a good playmaker, and we probably should have used him, quite honestly, a little bit more last year.
Has there been any internal discussion about maybe trying to extend Kirk Cousins, lowering that cap hit this year, and then keeping him long term?
Well, we've discussed a lot of things. I mean, all kinds of different scenarios. So I won't get into any of them, but there were several.
One more quick thing about Stefanski. Did you ever marvel that he'd stayed so long in one spot?
No, I think that's a good thing. You know, most of the time, us coaches, we move around way too much. A lot of times not by choice. So for him to be able to stay that long, I think it's great.
What do you think clicked with Kirk this past season compared to the first year with the Vikings?
You know, I think part of it was the scheme. I think part of the scheme was really tailored to him. I think, again, the coaches did a great job of not. There's a fine line for the quarterback to put all kinds of things on his plate or get him to play fast. And I thought our coaches did a great job of getting him to play fast. So he was able to get out from under center, get the ball out, get it to the right read early. I thought they did a great job of coaching him up to get to those reads quickly and go from there. And then, you know, and obviously the running game helped because that helped with the play-action pass.
Coach, I talked to Dalvin Cook at the Pro Bowl, and he said the message that you gave the Vikings before the wild card game against the Saints is what motivated them to win the game. What was that message that you gave them?
I don't know, it must have been good.
Coach, where do you see defensive football going as guys like Derwin James and Isaiah Simmons come into the league and do so many different things?
There's a lot of guys like that that are starting to, and you know, it's the same thing. The more you can use them close to the line of scrimmage. You know, the league is basically turned into a single high defensive league where everybody's there and they're putting safeties down in the box, or even now a lot of teams are using linebacker or safeties as linebackers, and so you know, the way that the game is widened out and gotten more space, you're gonna find smaller, faster linebackers or safeties that can take those guys' places, or guys like the guys you mentioned that really can play in the back end, but they do a lot of damage as line of scrimmage and blitzing and pressure.
Kind of on the flip side of that, for like the tight end position going forward, what are some traits that you think are valuable for maybe people wanting to take a tight end in this class or something? What are traits that you think?
Well, you know, there's different types of tight ends. There's tight ends that are, you know, the athletic space tight ends that are going to get out there and try and get mismatches on linebackers or safeties. And then there's the physical blocking ones. And I think it just depends on, what your need is and your scheme. Obviously, you're probably going to get the blockers a little later than you're going to get the fast, athletic guys.
What steps is Dalvin taking to make sure that he stays on the field given his injury history?
Yeah, Dalvin's doing really good, and I would not say he's injury prone. He had a knee that was early, and then he had the shoulder this last year. But Dalvin, the one thing about Dalvin, he's a physical runner. He's been working hard already. We've talked to him just recently. I'm excited to see where he can go because he's such an outstanding football player, great kid, great in the locker room, great as far as a leader on the offense and on the team. He loves to work. He loves to compete.
Twizzlers or Red Vines?
Twizzlers or Red Vines? Twizzlers.
Reese's or Twix?
Reese's.
That's two right.
It's my day.
Thanks, Coach.